walks into a break. Everybody please welcome Lisa Bennett.
At the age of 14, I was restricted to bed with a nasty case of strep throat, which I was not enthused about. I was already in love with the written and spoken English word. So I grabbed my Shakespeare anthology, and that day I memorized Hamlet's famous to be or not to be speech, his soliloquy. A soliloquy is a speech that's given whether or not you have an audience. A little over a year ago, I was asked to go with a friend to this open mic night in SoCal at the Ugly Mug to help him with his comedy routine. I said, well, could I give a poem? He said, yeah, you can do anything you want. So I showed up at the Ugly Mug with my only memorized poem under my belt. I was shaking in my shoes. But I delivered it pretty well, and the audience loved it. That was the only encouragement I needed. I committed to memorizing 52 poems, one for every week of the year. To date, I've memorized 25. People ask me how I do this, so I'd like to give you my 3 top areas of focus when I memorize poetry. First, I pick a poem I love that resonates with me, because I am going to commit hours of my life to this poem, and I'm also going to commit the poem to my memory for life. I still know Shakespeare's Hamlet's soliloquy. Second, I have 3 major memorization or mnemonic techniques that I use, and a fallback solution as well. The first is to simply copy the poem from the book of poetry into the left-hand page of my notebook. This is similar to all the note copying I did through 8 years of college, and it worked really well for me. The second is a technique I learned recently and stumbled upon, where you copy it again into the right-hand page, but this time only the first letter of every word. For some reason, that cuts down my memorization time by half. Then I memorize in chunks or ideas or perhaps a verse of the poem at a time. And if I'm still stuck, I draw little pictures in the margins, little pictographs of what's happening in the poem at the time. If I'm still stuck, I resort to my fallback plan. An example of this is the first line from Such Silence. As deep as I ever went into the forest. Although that's a beautiful line, very poetic, and leads the reader or the listener right into the setting of the poem, I don't think or speak that way. So I had to memorize that cold, word by word by word. That's my fallback plan. The third area of focus is repetition. After I can repeat the poem about 3 times perfectly, I breathe emotion into it, the way I think the poet intended, although it's very difficult, almost impossible, to find audio recordings of poems done by their authors with emotion. So it's guesswork. Between 10 and 30 repetitions gets it embedded in my long-term memory. I know I'm remembering it permanently when I can wake first thing in the morning and recite the poem perfectly with emotion. And this is when I become the queen of soliloquy. My dogs now ignore me as I'm walking the road reciting poetry. My car has heard more poetry in the last year than music, and I am great at soliloquy now. So those are my 3 main tips. Memorize something that you love, because you're committing to it. Use mnemonic techniques to remember it, and repeat it many, many times. And as your present today, I'm going to give you Such Silence by Mary Oliver. As deep as I ever went into the forest, I came upon an old stone bench, very, very old, and around it, a clearing. And beyond that, trees, taller and older than I had ever seen. Such silence. It really wasn't so far from a town, yet it seemed all the clocks in the world had stopped counting. So it was hard to believe the usual rules applied. Sometimes there's just a hint, a possibility. What's magical sometimes has roots deeper than reason. I hope everyone knows that. I sat on the bench and waited for something. An angel, perhaps. Or dancers with the legs of goats. No, I didn't see either. But only, I think, because I didn't stay long enough.